There's no VC who funds losses. They fund momentum. For us, 3x, 5x doesn't excite us for early stage. So you can study valuation from the gurus of the world. You can become a PhD in finance, and nothing will apply to early stage valuation.
So at an early stage, just a VC and a founder on a table.
It is like a slow tango dance between the VC and the founder. And never ever go to a VC if you're not full-time 100% in that business.
If I were to curate a perfect pitch or an elevator pitch, what should be the key elements in it? So for the founders watching, if you could tell us three key points in any term sheet or SHA which they should be very careful about. Recently we've seen this trend where a lot of content creators are getting into business. They are founding their own companies.
See, if you have a combination of a founder with coming in front and founder-led content with a great product, absolute winner. Consumers want to know who is the person behind the product.
So Ninad, for the first time on the Corner Office show, since we have a VC with us, we have a new segment called Invest or Pass.
Pass. It's too gimmicky. Pass. Investing. Pass.
How should founders really approach you, approach 100x VC or for any VC for that matter?
I'll let out a big secret. The best way to go to an VC where the door opens fast is
Today is a rare crossover. An operator, an investor, an author, and also a theatre producer. Ninad Karpe is the founder of 100x VC and also Carpe Diem Ventures. In this episode, we go beyond the pitch deck. We decode the math behind early stage investment. We spot the red flags that are commonly seen in a founder which makes the investor walk away and uncover how to craft a brand story which will interest a VC. This is not just another business talk. It's a masterclass from someone who has seen it all in the VC circle. Let's jump into it. Hi Ninad, welcome to the Corner Office.
Hi.
Welcome to the Corner Office show and thank you so much for doing this.
Good to be here.
Thank you. So nice to have you here. So I want to immediately start by asking you that what led you from being a CEO or an MD to being an investor?
So CEO job in India, in fact anywhere in the world, and as a CEO of a listed company as well, is not easy. It's tough. After having been CEO for almost 20 years, I thought instead of steering one ship, you have just one ship to steer. Why not have an entire fleet? It's better to have a fleet of ships. And that's how I thought might as well have more founders, invest in founders and have an entire fleet. So that was a basic idea.
So your core thought was scale, and that is what you've done even after that. Scaling business is what you have focused on. So what, in the initial 5 minutes of any pitch, what makes you say, hell yes?
Tough one, but I'll tell you. I think firstly there should be clarity. The founder should be able to articulate very clearly the importance of a clear, and well crafted pitch is very important. And number two, if at all I have to put two things, very simple, is conviction. The founder has to be totally convinced. Most of the times, founders say how they want to do it, what they're doing. But I always want to know why. Why are you doing it? I keep asking founders why. And that why has to come out very clearly. So clarity, conviction, these two pillars are done. Then of course there are many things over and above that, but these are the two main pillars.
Right. So the why should be very convincing.
Absolutely. Right. I think, in India we do, a lot of founders spend a lot of time in what and how. It also comes from, more or less, a lot of people are used to doing PowerPoint before thinking what has to go into the PowerPoint. You open a PowerPoint, start putting everything. And that's what is what and how. But why has to be thought through before you make a pitch deck or before you approach a VC.
Right, makes complete sense. And if I get into the math of early stage investing, we've always heard multiples like 3x, 5x, 10x. Uh, Having an elaborate, career into the VC circle, you'd be able to explain that to us better.
Yeah, so it all depends on what stage you invest. At 100x, we did investments in very early stage. Even now, I'm doing very early stage investments. So at 100x, our name of the firm is very clear, 100x. That is what we want. But it's not possible that every startup you invest will give you 100x. There'll always be some moonshots. But any startup which we invest or even I invest, the idea is we will not invest unless we believe that that startup has a potential for a moonshot. The potential should be there. It should be an idea which has that deep potential. It may not happen because of various reasons, market conditions might change, macroeconomic factors, or the founder may just not execute properly. But the potential has to be there. So 3x, 5x, these are returns which, if you invest 1 crore, you want 3 crores. For us, 3x, 5x doesn't excite us for early stage. We want each one to do 100x, which is not possible.
Right.
So, obviously we want anything above 20, 30x is what we look at.
Right. And in terms of the revenue multiple, we've always seen valuations being calculated through revenue multiples. And in some cases, even there are many different methods. So how is that, at the early stage, how is that arrived at?
So none of this applies. So you can study valuation from the gurus of the world. You can become a PhD in finance, and nothing will apply to early stage valuation. Why? Because there's nothing to base your valuation on. They don't have revenues. They are early traction. At 100x, we invested in 180 startups, 180. We would have done more if not for COVID. But out of that 180, 4 were on pure PowerPoint. That means just concept. How do you value PowerPoint? It is not possible. So there are different ways of looking at it. Valuation is a number which is an end point of a lot of discussion between the founder and the VC. It is not at early stage based on any multiple.
So at an early stage, it's just a VC and a founder on a table.
It is like a slow tango dance between the VC and the founder. The founder is obviously on a high and leads it, and the VC is bringing the reality check. At some point, there's a confluence, and valuation is struck. And so, there's a lot of factors in it. One is stage. Second is you have to take a look ahead over the next 5-10 years. What is the amount of capital the startup requires, and almost work backwards to figure out at this stage so much capital and so much equity. So it's a little of it's not mumbo jumbo. There is a method to the madness, but it is not art like discounted value and those kind of models do not apply.
Right. That'll really help a lot of early stage founders because they all try to learn discounted cash flow and a lot of different models. But like you rightly said, at early stage, it is not that important, and it's just your vision which will really matter in front of a VC. So yeah. Moving on, this particular episode, I would want to take this freedom from you of not asking you questions as a host, but asking you questions as a founder.
Sure.
Since it's the first time we have such an experienced VC sitting in front of us. So immediately I'll start with what are some red flags in a founder which even the founders ignore sometimes.
Good question. So number one red flag is if you come to pitch to me and I ask you, are you full-time in this business? I expect a clear yes. If I'm going to invest money with you in a business, I can't have you doing other businesses. The moment you say I'm fully committed to the business, I know it is not correct. So founders try to skirt my answer by saying I'm fully committed. I have another business on the side. I have 5 restaurants, but we have managers. It just takes 2 hours in a week. But please give me 1 crore and I will run this business. It doesn't work.
Right.
It is not fair to ask a VC to invest money in you and your business if you're not full time in that business. It's just not fair. So that is number one. There are two major red flags. There are some minor flags. Second is today you come to me and say I am taking 50,000 rupees a month. I ask you, okay, if you don't get funded, what will you do? Oh no, I'll continue taking 50,000 rupees a month from the business. Moment I ask for cash flow, he suddenly say 4 lakhs rupees a month salary. I ask you why you put 4 lakhs when it is 50,000 if you don't. No, I was getting 48 lakhs, so I need 48 lakhs from the business. It doesn't work. The math doesn't add up.
Right.
I'm not against founder taking some reasonable amount,
Right.
but it can't spike to. You cannot expect if you left a job and come in a startup, you do not expect the salary to remain the same, and particularly to bump up the moment VC puts in money. You are actually going to kill the business. So there are some red flags, but these are the two very obvious. And never ever go to a VC if you're not full time 100% in that business.
Makes a lot of sense. And this is still a primary filter, right?
Yeah.
What I want to know is, since the time you started in your VC journey till now, how has the definition of a good founder evolved since then to now?
So things have changed. Around 6 years back, startup always meant 18 to 22-year-old, and in that bracket, from a top-notch institute and crazy idea, let's fund him. Today, actually, there are a lot of cases. Upper case, for example, a founder is crossed 50 when he raised his first fund. He left VIP Industries, and I haven't funded him. My friend has funded him. So there are a lot of such. We have funded a company called Naturic. The founder Sahil was in ITC and other companies, and I think he's obviously very experienced, 15-20 years, and we funded him, and he got funded after us. So that is also changed. Startup doesn't necessarily mean 17 to 22. Experience is important, but not necessarily the only reason for investing in a startup.
Right.
More than experience, there are a lot of other things which we see.
Right. I was actually looking for a couple of traits, if you can mention, which if someone doesn't have, they can upskill themselves with that.
I think the first thing is you need to understand how to articulate. It's very critical. You get couple of minutes, you get 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 5 minutes. You have to be able to explain what you want to do. I'll give exact real life example. There are these 2-3 founders who came to us, and I'll apply the rule of 3 what ifs. What if number 1, what if number 2, and what if. So the first, he said, we want to leave this planet a better place after us. Now you're pitching a business idea. Who doesn't want to leave a planet a better place? Number 2, there was a girl and a boy. Number 2, they said, is that we want to ensure that we do not leave any waste on the earth. Now again, come to the point. This doesn't help. I was about to get switched off when, fortunately for them, they spoke about the product, saying that we want to build solar panels the size of a palm, which was interesting. But man, start with the main thing. Don't beat around the bush. VCs are not interested in what is in your mind.
Right.
They have to come straight to the point.
Okay. And recently we've seen this trend where a lot of content creators are getting into business. They are founding their own companies, and through their entire distribution network of their followers, they try to build a product and sell it to them. That is how they are trying to build a company, which is fairly very new. Similarly, we've also seen some founders, people who have established their businesses, getting into content, because that is apparently the future. What is your take on this?
See, the first part is a well-established model in the Western world. Celebrity-led products. It's been there in the US for a long time. It's come to India. Katrina Kaif has a brand. A lot of people have a brand, but those are celebrity-led. Now, content-led, which is very slightly different. Founders trying to do a product. It is good, but it can take you only up to this point. If the product is not good, it's not going to fly.
True.
So content-led founders Go ahead, but be careful. It's your pitch or your style or the way you present will get you sales from 1 to 5, but it cannot get you sales from 5 to 100 or 2,000.
Right.
On the other part, because now there's so many products available in the market, consumer is spoiled for choice. Consumers want to know who is the person behind the product. So if you have a well-known brand from a big group, obviously that brand itself takes you. But if you're starting afresh, suppose you're starting a hair care brand, it is very tough. Just last evening, one girl, Chitra, she just launched a brand for the scalp. I have not invested, so I can called Titru. And obviously, why would you buy that thing unless you know the passion behind her and the way she has put it? If you see her entire story, maybe you might get motivated to brand as against just getting her, Titru hair scalp oil.
Right.
So I think it's good. It's good where founders put it. So there is a Baker's Dozen brand is there. I've seen it grow. They had the first outlet at Prabhati. On the bread, even now the founder writes love Aarti Handa or whatever. There's a brand called Renutra, which is a protein brand. The girl Shilpa, she with each protein packet, she's writing her personal story, handwritten, saying that this is made with love. I am a nutritionist. Now these are stories people love. So it's not just the brand, but the story behind the brand which people like to see. I think it's a good thing, but if you try to fudge, you had a problem. You have to be 100% what you say and what the story you put has to be 100% correct.
Right. And I'm glad you mentioned some names who are doing really well. And handwritten personal notes are something which I'm sure a lot of people start out with, but they don't continue it till the last step. But great to know that some people are still doing it. So the ideal image of a founder getting funded is of the perfect MBA with the perfect presentations, with the perfect pitch decks and everything. But have you encountered any, if I'm for the lack of a better word, Jugadu founders who get the work done, might not have the structure or the processes, but they always get the work done? Or can you give us an example if you've invested in any such founder?
So Jugadu is overhyped to my mind. I don't think VC would like to say my founder is Jugadu and he'll become a unicorn. Yeah. You may have some traits of being a Jugadu just to get over the initial process, or take a leap right in the beginning. But after that, it cannot be a Jugadu. It has to have proper foundation of a good startup or a good business. So I'm not a big fan of Jugadu, neither for the beginning nor later. But if you are, and it's a temporary thing which you can get over that mindset and then build a scalable business, it's workable.
Right. So it might help you from 0 to 1 maybe, but not from 1 to 100.
Definitely not. Definitely.
So Ninad, for the first time on the Corner Office show, since we have a VC with us, we have a new segment called Invest or Pass. So we want to throw some very quick scenarios and questions.
Sure.
And we would really like to know if you would invest in these companies or founders or in these organizations, or would you pass on them?
Sure.
So
I'm game.
We also have this for you.
That's simple.
So
I hope I have more of this green than the red.
Okay, so let's start. A 17-year-old founder with no pitch deck, just a working prototype.
Invest.
Two IITians, the startup is solving a problem that they have never personally experienced.
Invest.
Okay. A B2B SaaS startup with 0 revenue, but 10 working enterprise pilots.
Okay, invest.
A founder who sends you handwritten letters every month with updates.
Pass. It's too gimmicky, handwritten letters. Pass.
Okay. A business solving tier 3 India problems, but it is completely offline.
Pass.
A startup building AI powered astrology for millennials.
Pass. Millennials don't think are adapting to astrology as much, but
An ex-banker trying to disrupt roadside food stalls.
Maybe invest, yeah.
A solo founder building the next Bharat-focused operating system.
Pass. This is too big a job.
Okay. A pitch deck with just one slide, trust me, in front of it is a founder who has failed earlier in 2 startups.
Pass.
You
It's
won't
too
trust
gimmicky, too much gimmicky.
Okay. A repeat founder who ghosted his last co-founder.
Pass. Ghosting is, I just hate ghosting.
A theatre group turning their plays into a subscription startup.
This is close to my heart. invest.
A startup that's just a WhatsApp group but has 10,000 paid members.
Invest.
Okay. An MBA graduate with a founder tattoo and zero coding skills.
Pass. This tattoo and all this is too much gimmick.
Founders running a profitable company but want VC just for the validation.
Pass. We are not here for validation.
Okay. A startup with one customer but that customer is Google.
Ooh, invest.
Okay. Founders who pitch using memes and Instagram reels only.
Oh, pass. Too gimmicky.
An idea similar to the one you rejected last year but now has traction.
Invest.
An ex-actor building a performance feedback tool for sales teams.
Could be interesting. Invest.
Okay. A company raising funds only to build the vibe and community.
Pass.
A pitch that ends with we'll figure it out as we go.
Pass.
An Indian startup trying to bring viewership to motorsport in India.
I think that's interesting. Invest.
Okay. And lastly, if a founder came to you and said, I want to raise in 2025, what's the one thing that you tell them to stop doing?
Stop chasing valuation.
Okay.
Do business, find out how much money you want, and if the idea is good, you'll get it.
Right. That brings us to the end of Investor Pass. I'll take that from you.
Great. That was interesting. Those are good questions, but
Okay, so in the next segment, as a founder, I would like to know the hacks or underrated channels in which a founder can approach VCs. And for an assumption, we can keep it as the early stage funding.
Sure.
How should founders really approach 100x VC, or for any VC for that matter?
I'll let out a big secret. The best way to go to an VC where the door opens fast is to find out a startup they have invested, the VC firm has invested. If you know any of the founder who knows you personally or well enough, or is in a college network, alumni, approach her or him and ask for an intro.
Okay.
And that guy or girl should be able to put her or his neck round the neck saying, I know this person, please have a look at the at the pitch deck. Boom, it moves very fast.
So both the parts that you said, they're tough to find, right? First for someone to just recommend you is tough, and second is to put your name on the line. That's even tougher. So don't the cold approaches work?
Cold will happen, but this is fast and furious.
Okay.
And not so. I'm saying this because I do get founders who have come through the normal process, and we meet them. And at the end of the pitch, while they're leaving, they say, by the way, I know this person, he was one batch senior to me, you funded him, I know him very well, he also knows me well. I feel, my God, you guys don't understand the value of this network. So the value, generally speaking, of alumni network in India is less appreciated. And founders do not really make as much use as in the Western countries.
That's true, actually. Now that I think of it, that's very true, and that's something that should be explored more.
Yeah.
Because anyway, we are looking for more options of networking. So why not use the one where you spend
Already
your
there.
growing years?
Yeah. And in a genuine manner, if you start in the network pushing all kinds of gimmicky stuff and sales stuff, people are not interested. Genuinely say, I need help, I've got a startup, do you know these guys? People will help you in an alumni network.
Right. And if I were to curate a perfect pitch or an elevator pitch, what should be the key elements in it? How would you suggest a founder to derive their exact elevator pitch?
So if it's short and sweet, it has to have your introduction first. I am so and so. I have this 10 seconds. Then 10 seconds. What is the problem you are trying to solve? What is the solution? And these are 30 seconds. So if you get additional 10 seconds because the lift halted at the wrong floor and you're still got 10 seconds more, you have to talk about how big is the market.
Right. That's short and very precise.
If you get 10 more seconds, if you're in a elevator which is going 50 stories, then you have to also say how we're going to go to market.
Okay.
So this is a priority.
So, when should a founder or startup hire a lawyer in a fundraise? We've personally experienced this where a lot of early stages you can't really afford a lawyer, right? Whereas the term sheets and the SHAs, which is the shareholder agreements, are very elaborately drafted. Sometimes the term sheet is elaborate and the SHA is quick. Sometimes the term sheet is quick but the SHA is elaborate. So, at this point of a funding, I'm sure a lot of founders find themselves in a fix whether they should themselves handle the entire negotiation or should they bring a lawyer on board, and if they should, at what stage should they?
So my view is that if you push everything to the lawyer in terms of every clause, have a look, give it to me, and my lawyer talks to your lawyer, it will take a long time. You should not expect that to happen fast. The best way to do is firstly identify a lawyer who is specialized in this.
Right.
And there are people who specialize. Secondly, this whole concept that I don't understand finance does not work. I don't understand legal does not work. If you're a founder, you're a chief everything officer. Everything you have to. So you have to get into it, understand it, then take the lawyer's perspective. If you still feel that this is fine, you have to tell the lawyer, I'm fine with it.
Okay.
You have to be in the driver's seat. Eventually, lawyers, CA, whoever, they are your advisors. You have to carry the bus with you. You have to, this is your business, you have to take a decision. These are complex arrangements. No one is telling that SHA is a simple arrangement. You shake hands with the VC, but after that, the complexity is there. Because by definition, it is complex. See, VC is generally very optimistic. Okay, let's do it. Let's go it. We are done. Let's build a 100 crore business. Then the whole thing, a legal agreement is looking at all possible options that can go wrong. When I say let's do it, I'm thinking of what can go right. Let's get going. So then when they're thinking of 100 possible options, they're trying to cover all those options on both sides. So this is by nature a complicated process. The way to do it is, obviously you can't have a SHA which you cannot not show to a lawyer because there are legal terms. But you have to be in the driver's seat.
Which is why I found your perspective at 100x very interesting, because you had standardized the entire investment round, including a standard term sheet also.
So it was Safe Note, which we brought into India. It was a simple 4-page document, which was there on the website also. So there are cases there where we, had sent the Safe Note in advance. The founders from outside Bombay, they came in the morning, we discussed, evening it's a signed Safe Note. So if you simplify it to that extent, it is possible. But also SHA, what happens is the founders, the moment say, so God, it's a headache, this legal language. Then, man, I didn't sign up for this. Moment you start having those blocks in your mind, you're in trouble. Moment you leave a driver's seat to someone else in negotiation, you're in serious trouble.
Right. So how much ever technical or legal it gets, you have to be in the driver's seat.
Absolutely.
Right. So Ninad, I personally have heard this a lot, that mostly in terms of words of advice or caution, that be very careful with VCs. They tend to interfere a lot. They control your business. So I want to clarify this myth for once and all. What do you think?
VC bashing, this is what it's called.
Yeah.
See, there is one fact which you have taken money from VC. Unlike 1980s when you wanted money, you had to hypothecate your property, you had to get guarantors, so you had owners to return the money, and otherwise people came after you. VCs give you money, they take equity, high risk money. and the money is in your hands, they will protect their economic interest. They will protect their information interest. They are interested in knowing what is happening. Now, control is a very different thing. If you're just not used to giving information, if you're just not used to having someone protect their economic interests, don't raise VC money. The other parts, which is board seats and governance, and all these are all can be discussed and negotiated. But I have let's say I have my own business. I am answerable to myself, right? But if I take money for 2 crores, 4 crores, someone is going to ask me.
That's fair. That's fair.
So the fine line is outside of economic interest, which the VC will protect, and the information information interest. Is there anything beyond? There will be, and what are the parameters where you have to find a proper mean, golden mean as I call it.
Right. And that's totally fair. If for the amount of money that VCs are putting in, it's only fair to ask for information.
Correct.
So for the founders watching, if you could tell us 3 key points in any term sheet or SHA which they should be very careful about, the top 3 points.
So firstly, see, when a VC invests, VC is interested first, number one, in economic interest.
Right.
Protecting their economy, and which is fair. So anything which protects the economic interest and you try to dilute that will become almost a non-negotiable. Then after that, other things starts, whether anti-dilution, whether it is governance, board seats. So that's a matter of negotiation discussion. See, on information rights and economic rights, information is absolute key to a VC. You cannot say, no, I will not provide this, I will not provide, which is reasonable information rights and economic rights. On the other parts, which is on the, whether it's anti-dilution and other parts, that can be discussed and negotiated. But this, you founders need to understand that very critical for a VC to have them.
Right. That'll really help. Thank you. And now we move on to the rapid fire questions.
I hope they're easy.
If they're easy, then I've not done my job right. So request you to be very quick.
Fire,
Very quick and definitely not at all diplomatic.
Sure.
Okay. So what's one book every founder should stop reading?
Jugaad by Navi Rajdu. It's good in its point of time, but startups are not Jugaadus.
Right. Safe bet or crazy founder?
Crazy.
Who gets your heart racing?
Crazy founder.
Okay. Theatre or term sheets? What's more dramatic?
Theatre is more dramatic. Term sheet, the script is written already.
Right. In one word, if you could describe the current startup ecosystem?
So I'll, expand it by 2. It's chaotic and optimistic. So it's a combination of the 2.
What is more overrated? Personal branding or pitch decks?
Personal branding.
Okay. Which app do you wish you had invested in earlier?
Oh, LinkedIn. What a app.
Yeah.
Billion followers, $1 billion exits for VCs.
It's a heartbeat for anyone anyone in business or even in job.
Now it looks so good, but the person who thought of it and went through the initial pains, just unbelievable.
True. Founder obsession or founder balance? What wins?
Founder obsession early stage, after series A and B, it's founder balance. So I am in the early stage, so for me, a founder obsession is important.
Right. One thing in startup culture that makes you cringe?
Constant use of the word disruption.
Right.
But more important that, let me rephrase it now that I've thought of it. What makes you really cringe is we are in stealth mode. I don't know whether that is because they don't have the product ready, they don't have any customers, they are just wanting it to hide something.
That's very true. Actually, I've seen founders being in stealth mode for 2-3 years also.
Yeah. So let me rephrase, not disruption, stealth mode is what cringes me a lot.
True. What is a startup that you regret passing on?
Recently I read about a startup called GOAT, GOAT. It's by an 18-year-old boy from Rajasthan, and Deep Bajaj is now putting money. We passed it. It is form of a liquid oats for breakfast.
Wow.
We evaluated it. I don't mind saying it, but obviously at that point we didn't take it to the next level.
Right. What is a business idea that you secretly love but you will never fund?
I'm fascinated by what is going to happen in space.
Okay.
So anything connected to space, space travel, I have a secret desire, but I'll never fund. For example, just as a bizarre idea, a luxury jet or spacecraft taking pets to space for a joyride. I'll never fund it, but it's
Okay. Early stage founders, hustlers or hopers?
hustlers.
If you could delete one overused startup word, what would it be?
Disruption. I think here disruption is the right word.
Correct.
If everything is going to disrupt, there's no organization, nothing left, in the world.
True. The one founder you would switch lives with for a week?
Elon Musk. I have Twitter and I have SpaceX. What more do I want?
Yeah, very true. Which is the better title? Investor or startup whisperer?
So I have been calling myself Startup Whisperer. I love it because, I do have a pro bono, every day at 11 o'clock I do pro bono consulting for any founder. There's an application process through LinkedIn and they come. And I love it because I meet new founders every day. I don't charge money. Of course, they have to donate 2,000 rupees to World Wildlife Fund. But that is my whisperer job. Plus, anytime I meet any founder, because of my experience, I love sharing it,
Wow.
provided the founder is willing to listen.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. Okay. Coffee chats or cold emails? What works better on you?
Caffeine is, a little bit caffeine is always good compared to cold emails.
Okay. One pitch that made you laugh out loud?
I, remember one young girl, I think, had come and she said she's building a Uber for astrologers. And at the end of the pitch, she said, I have hired one astrologer before I came here, and that astrologer said that you're going to fund me. So I started laughing.
I guess that astrology didn't go right.
So I don't know if it's a trick thing or...
I'm sure. That's very funny. The most unexpected place where you've taken a pitch?
So by chance, I have a theatre as a passion profession. So by chance, one founder had come to watch my play. And I was in the green room. And before the curtains were on, he obviously come to watch the play. He had 3 minutes. He started pitching to me. I said, man, you come enjoy the play. He said, no, 3 minutes, let me. So getting a pitch and in the green room, 3 minutes before a curtain is opened, I think that was fairly unique.
That has to be the weirdest. VCs very commonly ghost founders also. Have a founder ever ghosted you?
He has, but he came back after 6 months. So, it doesn't happen often, but it happens once or twice.
Okay. Knowing you, I'm interested to know, Formula 1 or cricket?
Formula 1.
Okay. What is the biggest check that you have signed for a founder?
So at 100x, we are signing 1.25 crores. So
But
there was no
personally?
big or small. I have not, when I'm in a fund, I don't do personal investments.
Okay. And not even at Carpe Diem?
Now I'm signing at Carpe Diem, but it's a different model.
Okay. And lastly, your biggest exit from a company?
So we have had partial exits, not full exits. So I think VC business is 7 to 10 year business. We are just 5-6 years. So we have had exits, but not very, very large.
Right. So that's the end. I think you were very quick. That really went well.
That was rapid fire, so you have to be quick.
Yes. Okay. So now coming on to the current trends. So I want to understand from you in 2025, what are the sectors which are doing really well globally or on an India level also? Which are the sectors which are working in 2025 currently?
So I'll tell you my personal view on it, where I am, if any of these categories I get a pitch, I fast track it. One is anything connected to agri-tech.
Agri-tech, okay.
So there is, 60% of a population there. It's a large segment, but by and large, it has not got the attention it deserves. It has got some bit of attention on the last mile. So we at 100x had invested in a company called Philo, which was putting IoT devices and other devices for all kinds of predictions. They are doing exceedingly well. They
Okay.
put up these things in farms. I think this is just the beginning. So agri-tech is one. Logistics supply chain, obviously, is going to just. India is a tough country for logistics and supply, as you may be aware of. So that's something also a lot of I would be interested. And deep tech, we don't get as many. At 100x also, we have put some money in deep tech. Recently in Jan, we put a money in a company called Celerim, which was doing cell-free fuel, cell-free biomanufacturing. So very few, but so deep tech we don't get. But I am now again more and more interested in climate tech.
Climate tech, okay.
Yeah. So agri-tech, logistics supply chain, and climate tech. Deep tech we don't get as much.
So it's interesting you mentioned that, because this was going to be one of my upcoming questions, that AI, deep tech or climate tech, are these sectors which genuinely have long-term game, or are they just right now in the discussion?
No. Climate tech has very long-term impact. It will happen. Deep tech also, we do not have, unfortunately, as many in India, but it is happening. We are seeing a lot more. Momentum is there. AI, I fundamentally believe, is not going to follow the typical technology curve of hype and maturity and decline. It's going to make a massive impact, and probably the impact will not be as massive as in first 1-2 years, but incrementally impact will be maybe a little lesser, but it will be on the upward curve for a long time.
Right. And your view on the macro environment in terms of startups and investments?
So the biggest in India, let me speak. In the biggest advantage India has is you pick any product, any offering, and if you're looking at India as the market, the kind of width, breadth, and depth which India offers, other than China, no other market offers. It's not possible. So could you ask for a better domestic market? The answer is no.
No.
There is a massive opportunity.
Right. There are 29 countries within this country. So there are a lot of startups, a lot of companies that we see. Currently, infamously, the entire cred discussion which is going on. Also, other companies like Byju's, who have burnt a lot of money, a lot of VC money, a lot of outside funding that they've received, but they are doing it for the growth. So is this approach of growth at all costs still relevant? What are your views on it?
So, these are different companies. Some have grown rapidly. Some there are allegations of, misgovernance. So let's remove those misgovernance part aside, because then it's not. But the days of just rapid mindless growth and mindless negative cash flow, other than you being a massive rock star, is over. So it will apply to just 3-4 people in the country, where VCs will still believe that she or he can deliver despite the negative. But yes, VCs do want momentum, massive momentum. Having some kind of a negative number as a cash flow is not a problem. But let's say 1 year your revenue is 10 crores and next year it is 50 crores, and first year loss is 1 crore, next year is 2 crores, not a problem. First year 10 crore revenue and 12 crore next year, but loss from 1 to 2 crore doesn't work. So there's no VC who funds losses. That's absolutely, people say all the time. It doesn't work. Yes, VCs fund momentum. If you have momentum and you have losses which are reasonable, understandable, which are required to fund the initial momentum, there's no problem.
Right.
So it is a very nuanced kind of play we play. It's not a dining table conversation or armchair say, oh, VCs love fund losses. There's no VC who would funds losses. They fund momentum.
But to follow up on that, when does it stop? Because we've seen some of these companies going on and on with their losses. When does that really stop?
Well, some of them are listed, you know. So, you know, and once it's listed, the VCs are not in the picture, and they're still making losses, and they're still have a great, big, good market cap. Amazon didn't make money for I think 20 years. So the moment it is outside the VC world, we are out. If it's listed, it's a public price discovery.
Right.
And all of them, not all, I'm saying a lot of them are getting into the stock market. So we are out of it.
Right.
And they still get good market caps. Shareholders are supporting them.
But how no one is worried really baffles me. Anyway, so are VCs genuinely interested in offbeat or comparatively newer type of businesses which they've not seen before? Or have you seen any such?
Yes, we have seen. So VCs generally want businesses that can explode. That's the basic business model. Now, will it happen through an existing business which they're trying some different model? You know, execution is different, go-to-market is different. Let's say Physics Wala. He had a massive following on YouTube, and then he converted to a business model. We at 100x have invested in a company called Emo Energy, which started off with nothing, just a concept, a video. The founder had come and they are doing EV batteries in a very different form. Now they're doing exceedingly well. So yes, we look for newer ideas.
Right. And for that matter, someone like a Nish here, right? She has done. The numbers she's doing is incredible. Again, from the content coming into business and not offbeat maybe, but hair extension, something new in which she's made her mark. Also a content creator getting into business. So I think if you've heard of her, she's doing some great numbers.
I've seen what she's doing. I think, if you have a combination of a founder with, coming in front and founder-led content with a great product, absolute winner. Founder-like great content without a great product will not work. And reverse also. So I think in her case, probably both have, confluenced very well.
Right. And your views on early stage funding in B2B SaaS enterprise businesses?
There's plenty of scope. I think the number of entities that are there in India, even if you go below the large cap, the small and medium, or even the large medium in that category, the amount of digitization they require, the amount of things they need to implement to optimize their either the production offering is massive. They haven't. No one has scratched the surface there. So B2B SaaS business, there's still a massive opportunity layer below the top layer.
Also, what is that one trend in startups which is currently not relevant but will be relevant 2-3 years down the line?
We need clairvoyance for that. But I think one of the things which will be important is so there is still a deep domestic market. Founders have to think after 2 years in India, for India is now by and large the mantra. And B2B SaaS is in India for the world they're going. But outside of B2B SaaS, not many people are engineering the business in India, for India and for the world. So a lot of B2B SaaS are India for the world, in India for India. But in India, for India and for the world is what we need to start thinking of.
Noted. Yeah, that's well summarized.
Yeah.
So moving on to a little bit about you that we want to know. So you're a theatre producer. So how has that come about, and what is that passion that keeps you doing theatre even till date?
So it's a passion business, weekend business. It's a business, but obviously there's no serious money in terms of profit, but it's a passion. So the whole idea, and it applies to startups as well, the whole idea of seeing something coming out of nothing. It's a script, and eventually, it's on stage. On 31st of July this year, my new play premiered at Opera House, And it's before that, almost a 3 to 4 months process, or even sometimes longer. We're discussing with the director, script. And then suddenly you see it on stage with music, lights, and, audience does not know the effort which has gone. So the whole idea of creating something out of nothing always fascinated me, and theatre is very tough for the actors. I don't act; I'm only in the business side of theatre, producing. Me
Right.
and my partner.
Right. I've seen people from the industry outside that speaking very highly of theatre. So there is no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Also, if I had to ask you that if we had to name your life story make it into a play, what would you name it?
Picture abhi baki hai.
Oh, nice.
I have a lot more to come. I'm obviously now full-time funding and passion business of theatre, but there's more to come.
Right. Also, you've written a book. So people who don't know, he has a book written in the name of Born to Baba. So can you tell us more about it? We'll also put in the link. Anyone
Sure.
can buy it from Amazon. We'll put in the link in the description for anyone can get
Sure.
it. Can you tell us more about the book that you've written?
So, 20 years I was a CEO, and, being a CEO, you are confronted by a lot of issues which you're not sometimes prepared, you're not thought through, or not thought through, it just hits you sometimes. And you have to think of long term, medium term, answerable to shareholders, this. So all of that, I thought, why not put it in a very simple, understandable form? And I was fascinated by Skyfall. That's where the Bond house, the character of James Bond was completely reinvented in Skyfall. You have a running business which is doing exceedingly well, which is a Bond franchise. And then you have Daniel Craig in Skyfall, absolutely reinvented the whole thing. So that was the first chapter, and then I took various inspirations from F1 to all others, every chapter. And the last chapter was on Baba Ramdev. So at that point, obviously he had built a great business, so that's why I called. But these are basic, easy to digest business strategies which will apply to everyone, including startups. And it was listed in the Amazon books in, I think, when it got launched. But fundamentally, it is business strategies without the mumbo jumbo, easy to understand, which you can relate to.
Nice. And it's a 120-page book, so it's easy
Correct.
to read for anyone reluctant. You're going to pull it up and read everything that Nidad has to say.
Correct. Give me feedback. Put your review on Amazon. If you like it, don't like it, I'll be happy.
Definitely. We would love to. And lastly, I just want to end by asking you, how can a founder build a good relationship with a VC?
Not easy, because we are flooded with pitch decks, and flooded time is never easy for a VC, and sometimes attention span is short. So don't be surprised. Sometimes you do not get, you go well prepared and you just get 10 minutes. But how do you engage? I think firstly, every VC firm has its thesis. Understand that thesis very deeply. What is it on the website? Which are the startups they have invested? What stage? How much? Ideally, if you can speak to one of the founders of the startups and understand, what is the thought process? How do you go? Don't go blindly.
Right.
I've had so many instances where founders put up a financial slide or some other slide. Oh, actually, there's an update to this. Last month we had this. But why didn't you come prepared? If last month is this, don't show me an old slide. So these kind of small things don't make a mistake. But to engage, firstly understand the thesis of the firm, what they invested, the partner or the associate you're meeting with. And if you're not aligning to the VC firm in terms of thesis and understanding, don't go there.
Right.
Don't go just for the sake of, no, this is a good big name. I need it on the cap table. It doesn't work in the long term.
Right. So thank you so much for busting myths, for answering questions the way you have without any fluff. You have actually broken down some core concepts. You have also very clearly explained how a founder should be approaching a VC, what a VC's fundamentals are, what they stand for, and how it can be beneficial. Thank you so much. It has been an enriching conversation, and I really look forward to do a lot more of these on the Corner Office. Lastly, if you would like to say anything to anyone watching, any founder watching, first of all, and second, how was your experience on coming to the Corner Office?
Firstly, thank you for inviting me. I have driven a long distance to just be here because I thought your concept was interesting. I saw your previous episode. I love people who do podcasts. I think it's you're investing so much of your time and energy in doing it, and it's for the good of everyone. My last message is, and I say it very often, I'll say it again. Capital is chasing ideas. If you've got a great idea, if you've got a great model, you think it will work, there is capital. You have to just be patient and figure out which is the right capital for you. But in this world, VCs are always on the lookout for great ideas.
Right. Thank you so much. This was a great conversation, and thank you for coming here.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed that episode, please like, comment, subscribe, and share it with the founder who is trying to raise funds.